Afternoon, everybody. My name's Ross. I'm from Dawa, UK and Ireland. Today I'm just going to give you a quick run through just on our newest product, our TOC PTZ. It's our 3-in-1 camera. If you're not familiar with our 3-in-1 camera, basically it's full color, active deterrent, and SMD. Full color, self-explanatory. Camera can be full color at night using the illuminator. Active deterrent being that it has its blue and red flashing lights and speaker on the camera, which you can upload a customized message to, or also talk through. Has full two-way audio. And SMD being used for our people and vehicle detection. They eliminate some of those unwanted alarms. Um, Smart illumination, or so basically it has IR of 150 meters, or you can use the warm light, which has a distance of 50 meters. So we just literally logged into our camera here. So pretty standard PTZ as such, 4 megapixel 25 times zoom. With all of our PTZs now, we have our predictive focus algorithm. What that means is that the PTZ is always in focus, in and out. So quite common thing with PTZs is that you zoom in, and as you zoom in, the camera would stutter a bit, and you tend to potentially take a few seconds for that to focus. As you can see with our PTZs, zoomed in, it's still in focus the whole way in, and the whole way back out again, which is a pretty good feature. Just put it back to its preset. You'll just notice there when it was out of its preset, you didn't see our intrusion box. I'll run through that with you in a moment. The yellow boxes around the vehicles here is our SMD, so they're highlighting that they are vehicles. If a person was to walk past there, it would highlight that as a human. So some of the features, with this being active deterrent, I can actually activate the blue and red flashing light from the web browser, as well as the siren. Some other features, I suppose, pretty standard PTZ features. We have our zoom, so as you can see, in focus. Zoom in again. This is actually my in-laws' house, so I'm not spying on anybody. And as you'll see, yeah, we can zoom right in there. It's quite a good image. It's a very good PTZ. But I'm going to right back out to the preset again. So I'll just have a quick flick through some of the features of this PTZ. So as I mentioned at the start there, it's active deterrent. It has an illuminator. The illuminator can be set to smart illumination, or you can, which it'll pick between the two, or you can have the white light, which is your illuminator, which is up to about 50 meters, or you can have your generic IR mode. So, of course, you can pick any of those. One of the other features of this camera is that obviously it has two-way audio, so you can actually speak out via the PTZ itself. You've got your microphone volume here and your speaker volume. You also have the ability to use line out if you want to use a separate speaker. So we'll just go down to the PTZ itself. So in the PTZ itself, with our PTZs, to use any sort of intrusion or tripwire, you have to have the preset set. So as you can see there, we've got a preset set for preset 1. If I now go into event and go to smart plan, we have a global smart plan. So at the minute there, it's set up for video metadata, which I'll run through with you after. Or you can select it via your plan itself. So I can have multiple presets here doing multiple different things. So at the moment, I've got preset 1 and I've got deep IVS on. So if we jump into deep IVS, you'll see the box here that I have at the front of the garden. So for example, if we delete that box and save it, we'll start from scratch. If I press add there, this camera has multiple different features. So we've got cross fence detection, tripwire, intrusion, abandoned object, fast movement, parking, crowd gathering, missing object, or loitering. With it being active deterrent, we'll stick to intrusion at the moment. So if I draw my rule, and right click. So for intrusion, I have it set to cross, so anybody crosses into the box. I've got it set for enters only. Or of course you could have it sent for enters and exits, but we'll leave it on enter at the moment. Alarm track is your auto tracking. So at the minute it's set there for 30 seconds. 30 seconds or until the person leaves the scene. 15 right up to 300 seconds. Our target filter is set for humans and vehicles. Our audio linkage is turned on, which is our siren on the outside. If you upload a customized message to the camera itself, you can select your customized message there. And then we have our warning light, which is underneath there. You can have it on a medium flicker, a high flicker, or a low flicker with a duration of 5 to 30 seconds. So I'll show you what that looks like. So if we save that, if I come back out, so I'll show you what the camera looks like with the illuminator off. So this is a video that I took the other evening. As you can see how dark it is. Just have the box here at the front of the drive. You can see how bright that is. And I mean, it's very bright. You're sort of lighting up the other side of the street at this point. I don't have the alarm on at this point, obviously, because I don't want to annoy the neighbors, but yeah, you can see the idea. So that's it with the illuminator off. If we now test it with the illuminator on, you can see the difference. It's quite bright. That's, to be honest, most of the lights being blocked here at the gate, but you can still see that even with the illuminator on, the red and blue light is still very, very bright. So again, that's the difference with illuminator on or illuminator off. Just go back to our page again. So yeah, other features of the camera is face detection. Can be enabled, and again, just make sure that you have face detection enabled. You can't do, as you can see with the preset, you can't do multiple things with one preset. So for example, if I was to turn that off, it would let me then do face detection, and vice versa. Face detection, pretty standard feature. It's obviously just looking for faces and will of course take a snapshot and give you a general overview of that person. Video metadata, a very, very powerful tool now that I see sort of being used quite regularly now going forward. It's a fantastic bit of kit. The idea with vehicle metadata is that you, as you can see here, I've set it up for people, non-motor vehicles, and motor vehicles. And what that'll do is, when a person walks past, you'll get a general sort of a bit of general information about that person in terms of what color of clothing they're wearing, male or female, etc. Same with the car. The car will drive past. You'll get generally the size of the car and the color of the vehicle. When does that come in useful? Well, for example, shopping center, perfect scenario. Small child goes missing, or for example, a missing person. Would then give you the ability then within the recorder here to actually search for a human wearing a specific color of clothing. So at the moment, let's log back in again. So if we go back in and let's search for a human wearing a red top. So for example, if I go in here and go top color red, hit search, that'll take a second. You can see, so we've got one here. For some reason it's not loading. Could be to do with the browser, but if I play that video, then we should be seeing someone in a red top, and as you can see, it's the postman. See the SMD working there as well. So that's generally how the metadata works. Gives you the ability to search for different colors of clothing, whether they're wearing a hat, whether they're carrying a bag, gender, etc. It's a very, very powerful tool. Again, with the motor vehicles, I can search for color of a motor vehicle. Again, we'll go red, for example. Hit search. Oh, I'm in the wrong channel. Take a second. Don't know if we've had any red cars pass today. As you can see then the video, we should have our red car pass. Yep, there we go. So Again, scenarios for that. Petrol stations maybe. Again, people driving off from the pump don't necessarily see what the registration of the vehicle was, but they knew what color the car was. So it's a very, very powerful tool. Great bit of kit. I spoke about the audio earlier in terms of having different audio for your IBS rules. That's in here. So you have the ability then to upload an audio file here to directly to the camera, which would then you can select in your IBS rules. But that's pretty much it. If there's any other things that you would like me to test or something else you'd like me to run through, certainly drop me a message and I'll do my very best. Thank you.